The reason why I bring this up, and we talked about this before, I mean, you can and should take such pride in your casting over the years. I mean, dating all the way back, Layer Cake on. I'm curious, like, does it feel like at this point you have this kind of like coterie of actors that you could call upon and think of when when a new project comes around? And there are a couple here that we've seen in previous films.
Popped up,
So how does casting work at this point? When something like Argyle comes up, can you instinctively just think, oh, Henry would actually be perfect for that?
Well, when I work on the characters, Henry just had a moment, and I'll say it again because he looked so surprised, and I quite like that. Is I imagine old movie stars, so I'm free to cast, and I find people I think will channel what I'm hoping for, but then give it a unique spin. So for me, Argyle was a mixture of Connery and Roger Moore, right? Wow. So when he fought, I wanted it to be Connery.
Easy.
The thing is, now that I've heard it once, I'm not like.
Luckily, he didn't say that to you before doing the part. I assume
he did not. Thank goodness.
No, I tend not to tell the actor. I was thinking, as an actor, it's not great to be told, "Hey, I wanted you to be like."
Could you be like other actors? These two great actors.
Yeah, so
you're fine, but these two great actors, I'd like you to be more like them.
So that was Argyle in my head, meaning the toughness of Connery, but the one eyebrow raise, which he did without me asking him to do. Did it perfectly with the girls kissing.
I do it by accident sometimes.
The eyebrow has a mind.
The eyebrow. Well, I can't even raise one eyebrow, so well done. And then with Aidan Wilde, I was really sort of wanting what I call the Gene Wilder, Nicholson, that sort of the clues in the name, the Wilde, but the charm of Gene Wilder as well, and that's where Rockwell came about. But all my movies, you can ask me any character in any movie, and I'll tell you who it was based on. Who was inspired by, and then we find the modern day version, who then turns it into their role.
Had you guys ever? Were you keeping in touch over the years? Had you discussed anything else? I mean, I could imagine. He could fit into the Kingsman world. I mean, presumably.
Yeah, we talked about Kingsman. Still talk about Kingsman. I don't know whether Argyle screwed Kingsman up for you, but never.
Who knows? Who knows? It's your universe.
Yeah. But I'm also you hit an age where you tend to want to work with people that you can get on with, and there's mutual trust and respect, and therefore you can do your best work. And you can make mistakes. You're not going to get punished for making a mistake, and you can fix it together. So you're free. So, So I also have a secret chemistry test, or whether I think I'm going to get on with the person.
The most important chemistry test is you with the actor.
They don't probably know that part. So actually, it's funny you're saying, because I remember when you came down, and really, it was really nice when he came that first time he came to the house, and back then I was trying to encourage, like, again, it was about trust, and so that the actors would feel safe with me. And remember, I wasn't that experienced with actors, so the whole thing of directing actors was slightly intimidating. Well, very intimidating, because if you don't know how to do something, it's quite hard to ask someone to do. I would find it very hard to teach you how to speak Swahili. It's just not going to work out very well. I mean, I'll get a book and I'll figure it out, but I don't know how to speak Swahili, and I don't know whether you do. But if you do, it'll make my life a lot easier. Yeah. So, and that's, so when you came, and I knew Henry was a decent person from that point, and I just try to make sure that they feel safe and I feel safe, and especially back then I really didn't know anything about how, because acting it's still something I have no comprehension how they do it. Right? It's like the thing I really don't understand, and you've noticed I don't really direct them because I can't get my head around sex scenes. It's just something I don't understand.
Henry, take over.
I also don't understand them. I'm not a fan.
But I feel quite awkward about it. You go, right, okay.
You feel
what
awkward.
I need to do. Well, I do. Because I'm like, okay, guys, I need you two to get in bed, take your clothes off, and I go, wow, is this really acting? I suppose it is, but it's bloody odd.
I think there are circumstances where a sex scene actually is beneficial to a movie, and rather than just the audience. And
I hope so.
It's
I agree.
That's the thing. Sort of, I think sometimes they're overused these days,
right?
And it's when you have a sense that you're going, is this really necessary, or is it people just with less clothing on?
Right.
And that's where you start to get more uncomfortable, and you're thinking, there's not a performance here.
Right.
There's not a piece which is going to carry through into the rest of the movie or be a crescendo moment.
By the way, as soon as that sex scene, that's what
yeah. What? Hold on a second. Let's pay attention.
For the record,
I saw lean forward as well. I was like, do I need to?
But you didn't go to drama school, right? So,
right.
Which I think is why is a very, very is one of your secret weapons, right? So you have a different technique. But I cannot imagine when you go to drama school, they go, right, today we're going to teach you how to do sex scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a joke in there somewhere.
There is, but not to be said.
Yeah, not to be said.
No, but I did find it weird. It's like if my daughters became actresses and they went to drama school to learn how to do a sex scene, I'd be furious.
Right. Yeah, and I think sex scenes can be great in a movie. They can really help with the storytelling.
Sure.
But most of the time, the human imagination is going to trump it.
Right.
And so I think it can be a little bit of a cop-out if a TV show or a movie is just filled with sort of gyrating bodies and you're going, okay, but I mean, what is this doing for us apart from the idea of like, oh, naked person, great.
Yeah. Well, and
I agree. Are we just English prudes?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
well, there are different ways. Look, this
I hate directing them.
Yeah, I mean, not a fan of doing them.
Good.